So is it okay also to then start talking to the women? Because you see, from what I get, and I'm too sure it's in the books, men are drawn by what they see, and so they tend to want it more than the women. And because the women are also at the receiving side, they tend to dictate the pace and at what times. Should they be sensitive to the men so that we because our conversation here today is about how we can stop the conflict, which leads to the violent clashes between these people and then to death and all these others. So should the women be sensitive?
You see, before I come to your question, I would want to say that from a psychological point of view, if you really dig deep into a lot of marital conflicts, it is as a result of something as basic as just sex. You understand? Basic as just sex. It could either be on both ends. Don't get me wrong. It is not always the man. We see it in our clinics. Sometimes it is the woman, but the woman will not come out clean. They will not come out clear. But for all you know, all she just wanted at that point in time was just to suhum sahum. You understand what I'm trying to say? And she would be fine. You see, so it really goes deeper into than just just the surface of it. And that is why I was talking about the premarital counseling, where when you're having premarital counseling, it is important that you really talk about sex education. I cannot, I don't know how I can put it for it to get into people's minds and all of that. But then it is very, very essential. And for men, like you said, men are driven by what they see. Women are driven by what they hear and how they feel. You know, if we do not provide money at home, there is definitely no way that your woman's sexual desires will be turned. You will switch off the libido. Something as basic as not even brushing your teeth or as not wearing your shoe right. You understand? Can turn it off once. Like just something as basic as that. Or just the fact that you went out and you didn't call her, something, very basic things that we would not see it as necessary. Women see it as necessary and they hold on to it. And to bring it to the story of this particular, the man and the woman. How old was the man? 54 years old. Why you think the man, there is something wrong with the man? 54-year-old man, all he wants is sex. And he said, you are not going to give it to him. You understand? And the woman's reason was that if you give it to me raw, I would get pregnant. So let us use protection. And the man says that, if you read the story on Ghana Web, it says that the man does not want to use contraceptives. The question is, does the man know other forms of contraceptives? These are dying questions that need answering. For all you know, all the man thinks or knows is that if you do not want to get pregnant, you need to use a condom. But this is somebody who from experience knows that when you are using the condom, you do not get the same feeling as you would want to get. And so he says that I do not want to use it. And it brings about conflict. And in the process, hey, you never know what happens.
So the woman should have been educated and sensitized that there are other forms of
both of them. Both. It is not only the duty of the woman to go to the family planning unit to be educated on what to do. No.
I'm saying this because I believe that men, sometimes the ego the guy might not follow you to the family planning unit, the hospital, to be exposed to some of these things because of the ego. But you, the woman, feel what you feel. When you carry the baby, you struggle. And maybe you've had many, too many. So beyond that, it's about knowing very well that, well, if he doesn't even use a condom, I could go somewhere else, get some pills and pop in. That helps you.
Exactly.
So that you don't get into these things and then lead to death.
Exactly. And then lead to death. Like you said, you've said it succinctly. The woman could have just taken an injection. There are various forms of contraceptives that you can take and still have raw natural, satisfying sex.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
And all of these wouldn't have happened. But that is what I'm saying again. It is not only the duty of the woman to always get the education.
That I agree.
The men also need to get the education. And this woman is 45 years old. Most likely
hitting menopause?
About, exactly. She may not even know that she's in menopause.
And because of the swings.
And because of the swings. Because of the hormonal imbalance. Anytime the woman is, I'm guessing, anytime the woman is having sex, she may be having pain and then all of those kind of things. What are we doing as a society to curb some of these things? You understand what I'm trying to say? It's sad. And I from where I stand, you know, I am not an expert in sexual related issues. I'm just only a medical doctor with an interest, right? Or with a love for sex. And I find it very pathetic that even the medical fraternity will leave sexual issues to the background.
Wow.
And you can have somebody specializing in cardiology, you can have somebody specializing in neurosurgery and orthopedics and all of those things. What about sex?
But is there a study? There's no study. You say it's in this country.
That is why I am telling you. And I am. That is why I'm saying that.
It's become a bit systemic.
Yes, it's systemic. Okay. And it's a canker. It's an albatross around our neck.
Okay.
That's something as basic as sex. We relegate it to the background.
Meanwhile, it sells faster, eh?
Yes.
Books on it, videos on it.
Yes.
It sells faster.
Yes.
So why are we shying away from it?
Yes, why are we shying away from it?
Is it a tag?
It's even difficult for Lumo to come to the hospital and say, Dr. Charlie, I know if you pump well.
Yeah, of course.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
You see me that
exactly.
Man.
And even if you go to the doctor will not even know what to do. And we leave it to the roadside herbalist that, come and this.
I mean, you are walking by and there's a guy chasing you around, Charlie, please, and holding some stick around.
You understand?
It's so embarrassing.
You see? You are sitting in a trotro, you cannot even breathe, you cannot even think, and every medication, every herbal medication
is tied to
massa
inability.
Look, if your herbal medication cannot make a man perform, there is no herbal medication. You understand what I'm trying to say? And so we have left it we have relegated it to the background as if it is not necessary, as if it is not important. But it is important.
I see. Interesting thoughts here. So we're discussing this because of what has come, and we've heard a lot of stories about people killing their wives, slaughtering them because of these particular one. Of course, the agitations, the conflict in marriages, and that's what Dr. Azusong has said. So final words before, I mean, we should have a part 2 of this, probably with a lady, so that we can have the both perspectives. But final words on this one before we let you
so
go.
my final words on this, I just want Ghanaians not to, roast the man in question, and let us allow the experts to decide on what it is.
Okay.
I am not saying that the man might not have a mental issue. It could be possible that he's having a psychological problem. It could be possible that he is not. And when the police do their investigation, they know the right channels and they know what to do. In situations like this, they will refer to the psychiatric hospital for an in-depth assessment to be done on the man. And then the report would be sent to the court for the judges to take a decision on it. So whatever it is,
it's allowed.
It's allowed. Okay. You understand what I'm trying to say? And so Ghanaians should not just roast the man because the man just wanted food to eat.
I see. Thank you very much. And that's Dr. E.A. Azusong, is a medical doctor at Accra Psychiatric Hospital, and we've been talking about issues surrounding carnal knowledge and whether or not a man or a woman can be affected by it. And of course, clearly, yes, the effect is very, very. For those of you who have been texting me, insulting me around because my team lost to one of those little teams yesterday, it's nothing. Let's not even talk about it.